H2O girl. Hey you guys, this is Reese Omega, and you are watching Hey Sis TV. Now I hope you're ready to get your life. I hope you're ready for these thoughts. I hope you're ready for these opinions, and I hope you're ready for this tea. Cause you're all gonna get it on Hey Sis TV. Hey guys and girls, this is Reese Omega, and you are watching Hey Sis TV. Now, before we get into the second part of this series, girl, I'm gonna need you to subscribe to the channel, like, share, and comment this video, girl, okay? Stop playing. I've been gone for 5 months, okay? Show me some love, sis. Okay, so for this part 2 of my video is going to explain the process of the weight loss surgery that I decided to get. So, like I said in the other video, around July 2018, I decided to go forth with starting the process of getting the weight loss surgery. So I contacted the surgical team of Dr. Charles Proctor with Beltline Bariatric, and I'll put the information for them in the description. It started off with a weight loss surgery seminar. Basically, it was a meeting with the doctor himself. He explained every single surgery that he does as far as the weight loss, and just explains everything in detail, and it just helps you further decide whether you want to do it or not. At this seminar, I decided I still wanted to go with the surgery, and I signed up for a consultation with the doctor. With the process of doing the weight loss surgery with this particular surgical team, I had to do 6 months of seeing a nutritionist once every 30 days. I had to have a high protein diet and avoid like sugary foods and starches. Also, I had to see a psychiatrist to make sure my mental health was good enough to handle the surgery. And also, I had to take a sleep study to see if I had any kind of like sleep problems, like sleep apnea. So my first introduction into with the surgical team was I met with the nutritionist first, and she explained everything to me as far as what she expected out of me for the next 6 months. She gave me a food list of things that I should try. I have to admit, at first, I was still kind of weary. I was still kind of nervous and apprehensive, and I wasn't following the diet plan that the nutritionist gave me right away. Like, I was kind of like still on the fence about doing the surgery. So I didn't take the diet too seriously. So when you met with her every 30 days, she kind of expected some kind of weight loss. So my first 2 visits, I didn't lose any weight. But we'll get into that in a minute. So I went to the psychiatrist. The psychiatrist said I was healthy enough mentally healthy enough to have this surgery. I did my sleep study, which I was diagnosed with sleep apnea. Then if you're diagnosed with sleep apnea, the insurance wouldn't do the surgery unless you had a CPAP machine. So I had to get a CPAP machine. When I finally met with the doctor from my first consultation, one-on-one with Dr. Proctor, he suggested, because of my body mass index and my weight, he suggested a surgery called the duodenal switch. The duodenal switch is kind of like, well, this is me, I'm not a doctor, but with me explaining it, it's kind of like the full gastric bypass, but it's more like they're bypassing your small intestine instead of everything. So you just basically make your small intestine smaller so that food fat and sugar and oils don't stay in you, if you know what I mean. It just helps you, it doesn't absorb the fat like your body is used to doing. And also it makes your stomach pouch about 4 ounces. So initially I just wanted to do the regular gastric sleeve and that's it. I didn't want to do the bypass of my intestines because I didn't feel comfortable doing it because I didn't want something that invasive. But after the doctor explained to me that with your body mass index, which was like off the charts, and your weight, you need to get down to the healthiest weight as fast as possible. I went with the dual dental switch because after my own research and talking with the doctor, I thought that would have been the best option to get to my goal weight. Again, during the 6 months of all these tests and all these meetings with nutritionists, this whole process of getting prepared for the surgery, I was still overeating. I would try my best to do the suggestions that the nutritionist gave me, but I was still depressed. I was still having horrible anxiety, so I would still overeat. The thing about the dual dental switch is, unlike a lot of the other weight loss surgeries, I wasn't required to lose a certain amount of weight. So there wasn't an extra pressure put on me to lose a certain amount of weight before the surgery, because I didn't have to. I started taking the diet a lot seriously towards the end of the 6 months. My surgery was scheduled for March the 13th, 2019. I had to be on a liquid diet, meaning 2 protein shakes, 1 regular meal. I had to do that for 2 weeks prior to the surgery. So that's when I kind of became a lot more serious, because I said, well, this is 2 weeks away from surgery. I can't mess this up. I have to be sure that I can get the surgery. So for that 2 weeks, I did the liquid diet with the 1 meal, which was hard, but I did it. When I started the 2-week liquid diet, I was almost 600 pounds. The day of the surgery, that morning, I was like 574, maybe. So it was about 25 pounds I lost in that 2 weeks. So my surgery was March the 13th, 2019. It was a Wednesday. I had to be up at about 3:30 because I had to be at the hospital in pre-op by 5:30 in the morning. So a bitch had to wake up at like 3:30, 4 o'clock in the morning to get to this hospital. And the hospital was at Northside Hospital, which is in bumfuck Atlanta, okay? So I get there, I'm nervous, I'm anxious, but I kind of just want to get it over with. Good morning, y'all. I am in the pre-op surgery waiting area. I just got here around 5:30 a.m. Just wanted to document my progress for this weight loss surgery today, y'all. It's happening. I'm so excited but nervous at the same time, but we'll see how this goes, y'all. The only thing that I was nervous about was going under, which was the scariest part for me, was the anxiety of knowing that I'm going to be under anesthesia for hours. I was terrified. So I'm in the pre-op, they're taking all my vitals, they're telling me the process, the doctor comes in, he talks to me, his nurse practitioner comes and talks to me, the anesthesiologist comes and talks to me, everybody's coming in there talking to me. I'm just like, girl, baby boy, let's get this surgery over with. Like, let's do this. Around 7 a.m. was my surgery time, so they take me back. All I remember is the lights on the ceiling of the hallway. When I get into the surgery room, it's hella people. There's like 20 people in this surgery room. And I'm like, what the F is going on? So they put me on the surgical bed. They tie my arms down, which I was not expecting. They tied my feet down, which I was like, am I in a crazy house? Is this like surgery, guys? I'm not, can we talk about this? And then there was a lady on the side of me. I remember her as a black lady. And she was rubbing my I was laying down, she was rubbing my shoulder. She was like, it's gonna be okay. It's gonna be all right. She said, you're just gonna go to sleep. And they put the mask over me. They said they were gonna tell me to start counting down, but I don't remember the countdown part. I remember the mask going on my face, and that's it. And the lady rubbing my shoulder. That's all I remember. From what my friends say and what the doctor said, the surgery was like 4 hours. I come out of surgery, of course, high as a mug. I remember coming out of it. It felt like I was drunk. It was that, you know, that drunk feeling? So I was doing my usual like drunk talking while I was like telling the nurses how beautiful they were. They were pushing me to the recovery part of the hospital. And I was like, move out of the way, guys. There's beautiful nurses coming through. Like, watch out for these gorgeous nurses. Like, I was just like full out drunk man on the corner, complimenting people. So I remember them putting me in a space. I remember just knocking out after that. I remember the feeling like I was hit by a Mack truck. And I remember saying that too. I was telling them, I feel like I got hit by a Mack truck. I felt like my body was just sore. Then I woke up in my hospital room. And when I first woke up, I immediately started crying. Like full out boo-hooing, because I woke up and nobody was there. Like, I was like, do my friends that came with me know that I'm in this hospital room? Do they know where I'm at? Which they didn't, mind you. They had no idea where I was. The doctors didn't say anything to them. So as soon as I woke up, I remember just grabbing the hospital phone, and the only number that I know by heart is my best friend Raheem's number. So I called him like crying hysterically, like, where are you at? Oh my God, where are you at? I remember him just saying like, I'm in the lobby or something like that. Something like he was in the hospital but didn't know what hospital room I was in. The pain at that point, they had me so drugged up, I didn't feel any pain at that point. But once the pain starts to kind of come back and the drugs start to wear off, you start to feel, I don't know if anyone else had this experience, you have the worst gas pain in the world. Mind you, this is not gas pain in your stomach. This is gas pain in your shoulders, in your back, in your ass, in your legs, in your muscles, because during the surgery, they pump so much air into your body to make sure that your stomach is inflated so they can get to all the parts they need to get to, that it's just random air floating around your body as gas. So, of course, you have to like fart it out or burp it out or whatever. It was the most excruciating pain. If I knew what labor pain feels like, I would think that's what it felt like. It felt like pure hell. I couldn't move my body. They would tell me to walk. I could not walk. This pain was so bad, and it wasn't pain from the incisions, it was just gas pain. The gas pain was horrible. So in the hospital while I'm recovering, I was in the hospital for about 4 days. So I been in the hospital for 3 days after having my dual dental switch, which is basically a gastric sleeve and a bypass of my intestines. It's been up and down pain, up and down battle the past 3 days. They had to run some tests on me to make sure that there was no leaking from my incisions and, you know, in my stomach and everything. So it's something. The worst part about it is the gas pains, because you develop a lot of gas and they shoot a lot of air up in you when you have surgery. So there's a lot of gas just roaming around in your body and you have to get it out. But other than that, it's okay. Like, it's not easy. They want you to walk. They want you to have a bowel movement, and they want you to pee regularly. And also they want to see how much water you can take in and, you know, liquids. And you can't eat anything, of course. So they have like popsicles, they have jello, they have pudding. Everything is liquid or very, very moist food. You can't eat anything solid at this point. To me, like when I had the popsicle they gave me, after eating that popsicle, which I only ate half of it, I felt like I had a whole Thanksgiving meal. I felt like I ate a whole meal after I ate that popsicle. Okay. The beauty about this surgery and being in the hospital is the drugs are on tap. The drugs are on point. They had this drug, this pain medicine called Dilaudid. Dilaudid was about to make me a heroin addict, I swear. Because as soon as they pumped it into the IV, your pain went away. Like literally, you felt a little burn and then nothing. And you might have drifted off to sleep or you just drifted off into euphoria. So the drugs were on point. Loved it. So I was in the hospital for about 4 days. I did the walking. They ran some tests. They did some x-rays or MRIs. They did some kind of imaging test on my stomach. I don't know if it was an MRI though, because I was standing up. They did some kind of imaging to make sure there was no liquid leaking from the surgical points. They made you drink this horrible shit, this horrible stuff. You had to drink so that when the machine imaged your body, it would show up in the pictures. It was horrible. It tasted like battery acid and lemonade. It was terrible. So after the 4 days of being in the hospital, I went home. They sent me home. They gave you a series of like anti-gas. They give you a series of stomach ache medicines, anything that you need for at home. From March 13th to March the 17th, I lost 15 pounds in just that 4-day period. I had a follow up with the doctor that Monday. So I went home Saturday the 17th and went to saw the doctor on, I think it was Monday, March the 19th. I was totally and completely over it, honey. I went to the doctor's office. My friend drove me. I had a robe on, a Scully hat, a t-shirt, some shorts, and sockless, wearing no socks and shoes. I felt horrible. And they wanted me to walk into a public place and I didn't care how I looked, honey. He wanted to just, have a follow-up and see how everything is. He wanted to ask me about my bowel movements. He wanted to ask me about peeing. He wanted to ask me about my water intake and protein intake within the last couple days. I had a drain that was on my left side of my stomach. I had a drain that was draining out my bile, because when you have the surgery, you have excess bile in your body. So I had to wear that drain for about a week after surgery, which was annoying because it was in the way of everything. Having something just stuck in your stomach and you gotta make sure you don't rip it out. You gotta make sure that you don't hit it. It was annoying. I couldn't shower comfortably. I couldn't lay comfortably. It was horrible. I hated that drain. When you took that drain out, I was the happiest camper ever. So I'm basically 5 days post-op. And it hasn't been an easy ride. I'm in moderate pain, not as excruciating pain, but it just takes a lot to get comfortable. So this is 1 week post-op. Still got my drain in, and it's not draining as much. So hopefully that thing will be coming out soon. Now, I'm not saying I'm the most active person in the world, but this part of post-surgery where you're still kind of down and you really can't do much physically, you're not completely incapable, but you're also not 100%, that part is annoying. Because, bitch, I just want to get up without, that's all I want to do. without, I don't want to do that no more. I'm tired of that. Tired of that. These reviews on YouTube were saying these bitches were in the gym after a week. I'm not in the gym after a week, girl. Not. So I can't wait till I can like move as a normal person again. Hopefully that's it. The first week was tough. You can't really take. My problem was you guys gave me this surgery where I can only fit 4 ounces of liquid or soft food, but you want me to drink, eat. I was not getting enough water in. I was not getting enough food in. I wasn't eating the amount of calories per day that they wanted me to, because I just couldn't. It hurt to eat or drink too much, and I had a lot of trouble with that for the first week or 2. What the really bad part of the whole surgery was my body went into a shock, and it wasn't absorbing liquid the way it should, so I was really dehydrated. And because I was dehydrated, I was getting gout attacks. And if you don't know what gout is you have excess uric acid in your blood, and it becomes crystallized and it sticks to your joints. And my particular gout problem was in my feet. So I would get these horrible gout attacks, and they were aggressive gout attacks. I couldn't move, I couldn't walk, I couldn't sleep. It was constant pain. It was horrible. So I was getting those frequently. Every time it would go away, it would come back a week later. It started getting easier to eat after about week 3. My doctor was like, you can start eating softer foods, like meat. Because for the first week, it was nothing but popsicles, Jell-O, and pudding for the first week. The second week, I could start incorporating other things, mushy foods. I could start doing that. Week 3, I was able to start doing softer solids like avocados, chicken, soft meats, protein shakes. Week 3, I could start eating more solid food. By week 4, I was able to do solid foods, regular food. Just try your best to chew it as good as possible. So other than the gout attacks I was having, I was really having really good results as far as the weight loss. The first month I went from my starting weight, meaning starting from the 2 week before the surgery, I was 585. After about a month and 2 weeks, I was down to about 520 pounds. So I lost about 65 pounds in the first month. Okay, so that was a good result. But because I was having these dehydration problems, I was having a lot of pains in my stomach, in my sides, in the kidney area. So I was in and out of the emergency room a lot because I was scared that my kidneys were being affected by this dehydration. I was having really bad pain in my sides, and that's where the kidneys are. So I would go to the emergency room. The emergency room would say that I was fine and my kidneys were fine, and I was having problems peeing. I was peeing once a day, once. In the morning I would pee, and it would be the darkest piss I've ever seen in my life. After the first month and a half, going to the emergency room, meeting with the doctor ran tests, everything was fine, the blood tests ran fine. It was just my body was just in shock, and it was trying to adjust itself, and my body just had a hard time adjusting to this surgery. I didn't have any problems as far as passing out, but I would feel lightheaded a lot. I would feel very sleepy or very weak. Sometimes I was scared to drive because I would have dizzy spells, and I didn't want to have this dizzy spell while I was driving, so I was missing a lot of work. I was going to the hospital a lot, and then I started feeling better. By about 2 months in, I started feeling a little better. I was still having problems with the pee and with the gout and everything, but I was overall feeling better. I had lost a good 100, by month 2, I was down 110 pounds. Then I did have one day I had a really, really bad pain in my stomach. Really bad, like it was hurting. I couldn't go to the bathroom. I just thought it was constipation. So after a couple days of me like wallowing in pain in my bed, I decided to get one of my friends to drive me to the emergency room again, but this time I went to a different hospital. At this hospital went to Northside Hospital, which was the hospital that that did my surgery. So I went to the hospital at Northside, and they said that I had really bad inflammation in my bowels and in my stomach. Really bad inflammation, and my white blood cell count was like through the roof. So it was indicating that I had some kind of infection in my stomach, gastrical, whatever you want to call it, area. So this was like Memorial Day weekend. This past Memorial Day weekend. So I was in the hospital for 8 days because they thought I had something called C. diff. It's like an infection in your stomach area. It turned out just to be colitis, but I had a really bad case of it, so they kept me in the hospital for 8 days. So 8 days of pumping fluids in me, 8 days of pumping anti-inflammatories in me, and antibiotics and probiotics. It was rough. So when I got out of the hospital with that, they said it didn't have any connection to my weight loss surgery. I feel like it did, because I didn't have any of these problems until I had the surgery. When I got out of the hospital, I had gained listen guys, hear me out. While in the hospital, because I wasn't peeing normally, the fluid was retaining in my body. So I had gained like 50 pounds of fluid in my body. I looked like I was pregnant. Okay? I looked like I was pregnant with my stomach, which is full of fluid. My legs, my thighs, everything. So I went back to the weight loss surgeon. He said that it was just fluid retention, and just take a high protein diet and it will go away. So after about a week, all that fluid was gone, and I lost that 50 pounds of water gain that I had. Now, as far as the gout problems I was having, I'm seeing a specialist currently for the gout problems. I'm on a medication for it, so I haven't had any gout problems for like a month now. So I'm being treated for that. So hopefully that will stop being a problem soon. But I haven't had any problems with that like in the past month, which I thank God for, because I could have went through all of that and been fine, but the gout is the only thing that I did not appreciate during this time of my surgery recovery. Okay? Because it's hard to work out when your foot is swollen and in pain. So now I'm able to walk and exercise without any physical pain. I am happy to say that I am body pain free. Okay? My back is not hurting, my legs are not hurting, my feet are not hurting. And as of today, I have lost 155 pounds since March. My goal weight, for me, my personal weight goal is to get down to 300 pounds. Okay, that's my weight goal. I still have a lot of work to do. I still have a lot of mind control to do, because after this surgery, it's not all, strawberries and rainbows. You still have to fight your cravings to eat food, and to eat certain foods, and to eat certain amounts of food. I have to be honest, I've had my moments where I have overeaten and I've paid for it Because when you overeat with the surgery, you can have really bad diarrhea. You can throw up. You can have really bad hot flashes. You can get really sick to the stomach, and it's not fun. So that's kind of like helps you not overeat and kind of helps you not eat the wrong things. Because with the surgery that I had, the dual dental switch, you can't eat fried foods. Like, you can't eat greasy, fatty foods because it comes right out. Your body does not absorb fat and oil and sugar and all that the way that it did before. I can't hold in that much fat. It will come out of the backside. So I'm really focused on what I'm eating right now. Of course, I can't eat a lot. It gets better, it gets more comfortable. Like, you don't, at first, you feel like you can't eat anything and feel like you get full so fast. It does get better as far as like the uncomfortableness of being full. Like, you just know that, okay, I've had enough. Like, you know that 4 to 6 ounces of food is gonna fill you up. And you stop eating at that point. So I know my limits. I'm working on the exercise part, and I'm really focusing on making sure that I'm just staying healthy. Like, you have to take your vitamins. You have to drink lots of protein shakes, protein bars, protein foods, protein-rich foods. Like, it's not a game. Like, it's a ongoing thing. Like, it's an everyday struggle to deal with life after weight loss surgery. But yeah, that's been my experience with the weight loss surgery, and I hope that my story as a whole, from the beginning of my life to now, can inspire people, and hopefully, if not getting the surgery, just at least living a healthier life. In my eyes, I'm never going to be a skinny mini. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to be skinny mini. I just want to be healthy. My blood pressure was out of this world. My body was in so much pain all the time. I had to do something. I feel so much better now, and I know that it's just going to get better and better from here. And I hope my story inspires you guys to go out there and be healthier and not get to the point where I got. You know, if you have the blessings to change your situation with this surgery, then do it. If you have the opportunity, then do it. Do it now. I wish I would have did it years ago. You know what I'm saying? And if you don't want to do the surgery, really dig deep in yourself to do it by yourself. Like, I still admire people that can get out there and lose 150 pounds without surgery. If you have that willpower to get out there and do it, then do it. I just am blessed to be here to be able to tell the story, because a year ago, I wouldn't think I would have still been here if I didn't do this. I don't think I would have been here. So, I just hope I inspire you guys with my story. But, lighter note, sis, lighter note, sis, lighter note. Look out for more videos. I'm back, sis. I'm back in full effect, okay? Make sure you subscribe to the channel. Like, share, and comment on the video. Stop playing with me. Hope I inspired you, sis. Baby girl, baby boy. I hope you're inspired. So that's all I want to do, is inspire and entertain y'all. Hope I did it.